Hey yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome to my yoga time. Thanks for joining me today. Today's short yoga snack is a lovely slow flow, excellent for any time of the day, especially in the morning, to help you begin the day right. So we've got one block for today's practice. When you're ready, let's begin on our back. And we'll come straight up into our supported bridge pose. So using your block, and if you don't have a block, you could improvise with a rolled up towel or a really thick book. Let's place that block underneath the buttocks. So you can either have the block on the flat side or you can take it up to the second height. Make sure it's comfortable. We'll keep the knees bent today. Feel free to close the eyes down. Relax the forehead. Gently place the tip of the tongue where the teeth meet the roof of the mouth. So keeping a little space between the top and bottom teeth. The jaw is relaxed. Now begin to feel a gentle tone in the back of your throat. You may even hear the sound of your breath. Let's maintain this smooth, steady breath. The tongue in this position for the entire class. Now, if you have any concerns with your shoulders, just keep the arms as they are. Otherwise, I invite you to move the arms with the breath. As you inhale, if you can, take the arms out to the side and then fingertips meeting above the head. A moment to pause. And as you exhale, slowly lower those hands back down by your side. Just a couple more. If there's any catching or discomfort in one of your shoulders, then feel free to skip the movement. Moving into your last one now, and you have the option of keeping your arms above the head. For the last few breaths here, you might like to hold opposite elbows with the hands. Otherwise, rest with your arms by your side. And gently deepen the breath in the front side of the body, observing the navel rise and fall with the ebb and flow of your breath. And for your last couple of breaths here, take a moment to set your intention, your sankalpa, for your practice or your day. Keeping it simple if you can, maybe just the one word. What is it that you're needing a little more of? Begin to inhale your intention. And let's release the pose. Lower those arms back down by your side. Lift up your heels and your hips together. Take the block out to the side. Keep your heels up high as you lower down, one vertebrae at a time. When you touch down to the mat, let's lift up the feet. Imprint your lower back onto the mat, so remove any space. Hands to knees, arms are straight, and a little bit of resistance there. A little push-pull between the hands and the knees. Keep the jaw relaxed and the tongue in place. Feel free to hug the knees into the chest. In just a moment, we'll come up to seated. You can either roll to your side or you can begin to rock and roll forwards and backwards, bringing yourself all the way up. Let's move over onto all fours, onto hands and knees, and just take your block up to the top of the mat. Once on all fours, we're going to move into our puppy pose. Keep the hips up nice and high. This variation of puppy will stay active through the arms, so forehead to the mat, or of course you can use your block if you need to. We're going to keep the elbows and the palms lifted, so just the fingertips pressing into the mat. And you might like to take little pulses through the fingertips. A little bit of wrist therapy. Otherwise, you can hold it still and gently draw those shoulders up towards the hips. Can you feel the in-breath expand the upper body? Well done, yogis. Let's lift up, tabletop, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, turning the eyes of the elbows to face forward, tucking those toes under. Let's inhale, drop the belly, little back bend. Exhale around the spine, and then take your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Feel free to give the legs a little bit of a walk out here. So as you bend one knee, drop that hip and straighten the other leg. And then when you're ready, let's walk those feet up to the top of the mat. So take a hold of your block to the high side, hands onto the block, and we're just going to walk out the legs and bring in a little twist. So bend your left knee, lift up the left heel, and if the right shoulder's happy enough, inhale, right arm up. So as I do that, I'm turning my left shoulder in to deepen the twist in the upper body. Looking up if the neck's happy to do so, otherwise look down. Let's inhale. And as you exhale, right hand down, straighten the left leg, bend the right knee. Turn the right shoulder in as you inhale, left arm up. And let's do two more. One on each side. Well done, yogis. Keeping both hands on the blocks now. Let's cross the right foot behind the left. So option one, you'll have a little bit of space. Option two, pinky toes next to each other. So your front knee can bend, your back leg is straight. Make sure you engage that quad so that you don't hyperextend through the knee. Option one, stay here in the center. Option two, take the hands over to the left. Breathe into the outer right hip, the outer leg. Let's come back to center. Keep the legs crossed. Press into both feet as you reverse swan dive to come up. Left hand will then take a hold of the right wrist. Little side bend here, lean over, pressing into the right hip. And back to center, let's swan dive. Uncross the legs and change sides, left behind the right. Option to take it over to the right into your side bend. Be sure to engage that left quad. Feel the kneecap lift a little. Check the position of your tongue. Let's return to center. Legs staying crossed, reverse swan dive, little side bend. Right hand takes the left wrist, lift up, lean over. And let's come back to center, uncross the legs. Well done, yogis. Hands to the heart, lifting up the left knee now. From here, taking a one-legged chair, so left ankle to the right knee and bending the right leg as well. So taking a seat here. Option one, of course, if there's discomfort in your knee or your hip, both feet to the floor, make it a chair pose instead. So if you're staying here, a little flexion in the foot, breathe into the outer left hip. There might be a few of you today who would like to take a little forward bend, make it a little deeper in the outer hip. You can lower down to the block, start to straighten the right leg if you are coming into your forward bend. Otherwise, you can bring those hands down to the floor. And if you've come down, let's inhale all the way up. Hands return to prayer, lifting up the left knee, step it back, warrior two legs. So nice wide stance there. Make sure that you can see your big toe on the inner knee. So we want the knee to track over second and third toes. Take the feet out wider if you can't see your big toe. Well done. Now let's bend the left leg, straighten the right fingertips to the heart center. Then as you inhale, return to warrior two and reverse the warrior. As you exhale, warrior two, and then bend the left leg, straighten the right. Inhale, warrior two, and reverse. So there's 2 movements for the inhalation, 2 movements for the exhalation. And last one. Well done, yogis. This time as we return to warrior two, let's lift up the back heel, square the hips and shoulders to the front of the room, high lunge. Exhale, tilt the body forward, sweep the arms back. Active through the fingers, inhaling up. One more, exhaling, tilt the torso forward, sweep the arms back. Inhaling up and low lunge, exhale, knee to the mat. Little tone here through the left buttock, gently draw that back knee forward. Inhale. And as you exhale, lower hands down, half pyramid pose. So we'll take the hips back, begin to straighten that right leg. Now you can always use your block here if you need to. Option 1 is here. Option 2, a little deeper. You can uncurl those left toes, sink back onto the heel, and then fold forward a little. Just a little, no need to come all the way down. Let's keep the palms lifted, stay active in the shoulders, and allow the back to round. Gently draw that right heel back and keep the foot dorsal flexed. And let's inhale, come forward. Return to your lunge, step it back into your downward facing dog. Let's take a deep inhalation and then hara out the breath. Feel free to turn the head from side to side. And when you're ready, let's step it up to the top of the mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale to fold. Reverse swan dive. As the hands come down to the heart center, let's prepare for one-legged chair. Lift the right leg, right ankle, left knee. Or of course, your two-legged chair. Either stay there or fall forward if you did so on the other side, either to the block or to the floor. Now let's return, lifting up the right knee, warrior two. Begin to flow, straighten the left leg, engage the left quad, draw up the knee. Return to warrior two and reverse the warrior. Exhaling, bring the hand down, bend the right knee, straighten left leg. Inhaling. Well done. Squaring hips and shoulders to the front of the room, lift up the back heel. Exhale, tilt the body forward, tuck in the chin. Inhale to lift up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, low lunge, right knee to the mat. Breathe. Check the position of your tongue. Inhale your intention. Exhale, hands down, half pyramid pose is your option 1. So here for a little more sensation in the hamstrings, you can try and lift the tailbone a little. If that's too strong, then you can keep the hips and pelvis neutral and even round the back if you want a little more sensation in the back. Otherwise, uncurl those right toes. Let's sit back onto the heel, fold forward. And let's come forward. Last downward facing dog. Let's hire out the breath again. Inhale forward into plank. Bring the shoulders just in front of the wrists and round out the upper back. Tuck the tailbone under. Always the option to lighten the pose, but bringing the knees to the mat. Here we're going to come all the way down, so elbows into the ribs. Just move the block to the side. Bring your arms out in front. Lift the heart. Palms and elbows lifted. Gently draw those shoulders and the hands back towards the feet. Well done. Let's lower down, flip over onto your back. Having your block close by, take it over to the right side. Let's move the hips to the left about a centimetre, and you can straighten and relax the right leg. Take a hold of the left knee, we're going to twist. Now today, let's have the block at the second height, if you can, so the knee is at the same height as the hip. If that's too strong, you can always go up a little higher. I just don't want us to come low today. Let's keep the knee at the same height as the hip. If the shoulders permit, arms out to the side. Option to lift the head a little, move the back of the head to the right and then turn to the left. Complete the twist in the neck. Breathe down into the lower belly and the lower back. Let's return to center. Move the hips over to the right just a little, changing sides. When you arrive in the pose, try to relax and soften around the hips, the buttocks and thighs. Gently deepen the twist by deepening your breath. In your own time, let's return to your back, coming into Savasana just for a short time. Taking up as much space on the mat as feels good, tucking those shoulders under, allowing the palms to face the ceiling. Feel free to relax the tongue and jaw now. Let the eyes roll back as the forehead softens. And as you drift into Savasana, inhale your intention, your sankalpa, into your spacious body, quiet mind. Let's inhale a little deeper now. Can you feel the breath touch the nostrils? Feel free to swallow if the mouth is dry or wiggle toes and fingers. Follow any urges to move or stretch. Rolling to your preferred side in your own time, and please feel free to take as long as you like there in that nice moment in between moments. Only coming up to seated when you're ready to continue with your day. Thanks for practicing with me today, yogis. I encourage you to continue to inhale your intention throughout your day. If you enjoyed the practice today, please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have any class requests, feel free to pop them in the comments below. Wishing you a lovely day.